blessed and highly favored, and definitely hope the same for you. And if this is your first time stopping by my channel, much love to you and welcome into my returning subs, my growing, extended, beautiful family. Just thank you so much for the love and support that y'all been constantly giving me. Knowing there are days where our lives as we're within clarity, everything's happening for a reason. So, with that being said, much love to all. Namaste, love and blessings, love and light, and many blessings are definitely coming your way. And if you have been watching my videos for a while and have not already, please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know when I'm about to upload my upcoming videos. And if you're comfortable enough, please drop me a line or two. I would love the chance to get to know you as much as you're getting to know me, even if it's about the positive feedback of the content of my video, or you're just up telling me about your empathic gift, how it impacts your life and heading you towards a positive direction. And if you feel like the videos are very informative to you and gives you good vibes or inspiration, uh, please, if you would love to share, please share with your loved ones, family, or friends, or even your fellow empaths that are going through trying times and just needing spiritual guidance or just needing confirmation or validation towards life path or even soul purposes. Please share. And while you're at it, give your girl a thumbs up, like, and also share on your social media favorites wherever you see fit. Thank you once again for the love and support. It's greatly appreciated, and I hope you're able to resonate with the content of my video. I'm using Mantra Collective again. I really love their meditations they be coming out with. It's so peaceful. It's called 528 hertz, known as love frequency, positive energy, said to heal DNA, spiritual reset meditation. And I will post that link in the description box below. And the video I'm doing today is Twin Flame 101. The poison I consumed transformed to my power of strength. It is so true. Poison, anything that is negative in our mind, our thoughts, our vibrations. We have all been in that dark, that dark path is not as in dark within itself, because dark, you transform into the darkness. Your seed is planted in the darkness. Those are positive transformations. But just for the poisons that we have taken within ourselves, how we treated ourselves, how we saw ourselves, how we seen the world, how we seen place and judgment of others. Let me turn this down a little bit, y'all. I apologize. It's like, I don't know whether it's the TV or the surround sound, but I just don't want to be yelling over that, but I still want you to be able to hear it at the same time. Any kind of poison that is not, good. Poison is never good in our lives, and a lot of times we can be within our own selves that can really be, toxic, or, even though a lot of times we're connected with toxic people, it could be, our toxic things as well, because there's a lot of times we allow ourselves to stay in certain situations and certain, circles of energy that can be very damning for you, things that is not going to help you grow, and for you understanding what all is taking place. You had to allow yourself, as Heyokas. We usually do this. We do things the hard way, and a lot of times we have to go through that valley of long term torture or trauma within ourselves, that we have to allow ourselves to say, okay, when is enough going to be enough for you? When you're sitting up here seeing other people getting their blessings, you're trying to understand why you're not getting yours. Well, if you're number one, if you're allowing yourself to see everything as a negative sense, instead of saying, okay, this is my karmic shift where I had to allow myself to heal from whatever negative situations is taking place, allowing myself to rise above those different situations. This was not good for me. This is something that was therapeutic for me, but it's not good for me to stay in this situation. Allowing myself to see everything, you know, as a positive transformation that has taken place. I use that as my light to, to ascend towards greatness, being better than I was yesterday, allowing myself to say goodbye to what hurt me before. A lot of us are cutting cords with different, well, not different, but people that has either we hurt them or they have hurt us. Being able to forgive yourselves as well. And a lot of people don't understand you have to be able to forgive yourself, because there's a lot of times we have allowed ourselves, we seen the toxic situations we allowed ourselves to continue to stay in, but a lot of times we stayed in those situations because we felt like, oh, we cared about this person, or hopefully they will change, if we give them the love that is needed, or this situation will change. But it was showing you, this is not going to change until you allow allow yourself to step away from what is taking place that is not doing any good for you. It's not serving you in a positive purpose, a positive manner. So you're allowing yourself to change. I was my own toxic, you know, um, enemy for myself, as well as the things and I was doing and the people I hung around, things that I kept on holding on to and allowing myself to go through those repetitive situations of what is taking place in my life that I wasn't willing to let go of. It took me long time to understand what was taking place in my life that I really needed to allow myself to step away from, allowing myself to really see the positive in it instead of something that was really negative. It's like everything, you have to be able to understand the bigger picture on what had to take place for you to be able to see the light. Is saying, okay, you need to separate from this. You need to allow yourself to grow from these things. This was your poison, but it also can turn into, it can transform into something that's very positive for you, because those situations has made you stronger. Those are the things that allowed you to see, if we never made, wrong mistakes, how would you ever learn from anything? What would you ever know? If you dealt with toxic people and you seen the habits that they keep, if you ran up on another one like this, and sometimes they all have the same traits. You had to be able to pick up on it real quick, but then you can be able to appreciate, like, oh, I've been down this road before, this remind me of this certain situation, so allow myself to break free from this, because this is not something I need in my life. you know um and a lot of things we had to learn and grow from those. I always tell people, don't ever feel like you're being stupid or being very naive. A lot of times you have to understand not everybody got the same mindset as you. Just because you won't do somebody that way don't mean that they won't try to do you that way. And a lot of times I used to feel like, damn, you being stupid or you're being naive on that. And there's sometimes I was being naive, I can see it clear as day, but that was what I was so used to being exposed to. I thought it was like the norm. And it's not the norm. I had to allow myself to love myself, to know you deserve better. Whether if it was a partner or it was a so-called best friend or a friend, if you know that they're feeding you a lot of poison and you're allowing yourself to consume that, you have to allow yourself to know to cut that cord and say, I better waiting for me on a long way. I have to allow myself to do better. I have to allow myself to separate from folks, you know, um, allow myself to be able to do better for myself, do better, to be able to be a better example for my children, my granddaughter. All these different things had to take place in my life. And it wasn't easy. It really wasn't easy. I said I grow and learn every day. A lot of times I had to make those decisions to allow myself to step away, not be that one that's constantly, trying to make a purpose on, positivity and changing. You only can force that to a point where you have to allow yourself to know if they don't want to change and they don't want to do their part, you have to be able to step back and just keep working on you. You can send love from a distance. You don't have to wish anybody bad. Whatever you put out, that right now, this is a season of you reap what you sow. So whatever you push out, it's going to eventually come back to you. That's why I always try to say on a positive thing, even though I might be, my feelings might be hurt because people parted ways with me, or I had to do that with with other people. I have to allow myself to understand certain things had to happen that way. You already had your karmic cycle with those certain people, those individuals. You have to allow it to, just allow yourself to take that L and keep it moving, but just being able to appreciate whatever connection y'all had, whether it was good or bad, it was something of value that you can take along the way. You're being able to see things through a different light. There was a lot of times I kept on seeing everything as a painful situation, allowing myself to really, stay focused on what took place for me to, get on my path. It was very traumatic. It was very, there's sometimes I'm just like, dang, did I really go through this? Did this really happen to me? And it's like, girl, yeah, it did happen to you. But look at, how many things have changed. I try not to see the negative in it, but being able to see the positive of what took place. There's a lot of times that, I wish I would have did different things the way I wish I would have, but I couldn't sit up here and allow myself to keep staying focused on the coulda, shoulda, wouldas, missed opportunities. Everything happened the way it happened for a reason. There's always something that will come out towards the end or be better. you know um when things are taken out of your life, they're always supposed to be replaced with something that was truly needed more. A lot of times you have to be able to make peace with it and keep going with or without closure, with or without apologies, with or without explanations on why certain things that people do, did they do it the way they do. You have to allow yourself to keep moving and knowing there's better on its way to you, just because you allowed yourself to maintain focus, even though it may have been hard. Because we don't have positive days every day, but you have to try to find the goodness throughout that day. Even though I might be stressed out that day, and I'll be like, oh, I'm just so glad today is over with. I had to be able to allow myself to get peace out of that. But then when I allow myself to get out my feelings about what it took place throughout that day, and then really see it for what it is, it's like, okay, I see what I had to learn through that, and I had to be able to allow myself to really, make peace with that. It's like a lot of times we can be our own worst enemy because we choose to hold on to something we cannot change. You can allow yourself. The only thing that you can change is how you respond to things, what you choose to put your energy on, how you choose to stay focused, and how do you respond to it. If you see that somebody want to lie to you, and you know good and well when you know they're lying, and they want to try you anyway like that, just peak game and just allow yourself to observe, not absorb. And then I had to be like that. I'm like, now I'm just like, when I see it, I'm just like, oh, okay. Well, anyways, just going about my business, what it is, and keep on moving. And I have to allow you to stop what you're doing. Because it's like sooner or later, you're going to be able to understand what needed to take place for certain situations, why you had to move forward. But there's better if you allow yourself to move forward. We can only consume so much poison before you choose to allow yourself to, if you think that's going to affect the person that unleash some kind of stuff on you, you only person that's going to catch it, catch it the bad way. Because a lot of times, we don't know, just for us holding on to things, it makes you feel, it's not doing something positive for you. Is not going to bring a good change for you. You have to be able to allow yourself to know, even though these things have really took me down a dark path, really, took me down a way I didn't want to be, it's my choice to choose. And I've been using that word, using that phrase a lot lately. You have that choice to choose. You either stay remaining in that same mindset, that same path, that same journey, or you can allow yourself to be guided towards the direction the universe has for you, where there's so much better down the way if you allow yourself to go ahead and let change take place. you know. And a lot of times we feel like we want to take so many people with us. It's not, if they're supposed to go, they would be on their own journey right now. They have it, but if they choose to be that way, that's, hey, you went down your life lesson just like everybody else. They don't have to take their poison just like you did, and being able to understand these are the things that help you grow. These are the things that is going to inspire you. These are the things that's going to take you towards bigger and better. You have lived that path where you felt like there was always something missing, and this is your chance to shine. You're going through that glow up, and it's just your choice. You're getting your power. Your power is every time when you choose to see the positivity in a negative, positive, turnaround is within a negative situation, negative circumstances. It's like right now, I'll be damned. I'm not in the right place where I want to be at. No, nowhere I want to be at. But then I'll allow myself to see the shift that took place. There are so many people that are subscribing left and right. It's over like 200 and some folks don't sit up here and subscribe to my channel within a 2 week period. That is a blessing within a blessing, because there's a lot of people that are waking up. There's a lot of people that are finding out, they've been at Heyoka, or they knew they were a Heyoka for a long time, but now they're starting to resonate with other things that other people can relate to as well, which is very beautiful. And a lot of times I mean, it's like a hard pill to swallow. Like, this is really happening in my life. This understand. It's like there's other people that's going through the same situation as me. Yes, we're all around the world, and it's just like the traits of a Heyoka has changed so much. Like, this is something very powerful, but for us to be able to come on top, I mean, we're already in our mission of gaining power from so many different sources right now. And for this to happen, they had to pick a trait that is not expected, because there's a lot of time darkness knows the darkness of what lurks. Let me put it that way. Not darkness, because darkness can be good, but I'm talking about the evil doers, the ones that are trying to stop all love changes that's taking place with all that evil stuff. You see what's going on right now. They need distractions, and this is what happens when they see love that is growing. They take people's lives. That I was meant to say that guy's name. I did say it, but I forgot that guy's name, George Floyd. That died in Minnesota, Minneapolis, Minnesota, and it is just sad. All these different things are going on in life, and it's just like there always has to be a balance throughout things. This is our time to stand up, start looking out, because things can, you can either look at it in a negative situation, which this was very negative, but it's your choice to see what type of way you're going to go about these things. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, because I know some people probably not agree with me or whatever, but it's like you can't win throwing out violence with violence. You just can't. And it's just like all these different things that are taking place. I wish we can, we have the upper hand of just showing love, not allowing things to be worse than worse already as it is. And it's sad, they actually have bad cops out here that want to hide behind their badge of power. I've seen it, I've endured it myself a few times. But there's a lot of good cops out there I've come connected with that, there's always something bad in every pretty much everything that got it, whether it's nationalities or certain departments of the world which serves, whatever government or whatever. They got good people out here, but they got no hell raisers up in there that just love seeing actual more chaos. Let me sprinkle a little bit more trauma or toxic, vibes towards that or whatever. But it's just like, as soon as you see so much love frequency, you always got to sprinkle a little bit of bad in there somewhere to get that distraction out. But it's like all these changes to take place, it's like reaping in poison. It wants you to be able to retaliate towards things like this is going to make anything better. And it's sad that we have to go through things like this. It's sad that we have to endure constant chaos. These things, and it's just like that. We're only halfway through the year, and God only knows what it's going to be like towards the end of the year. I'm just like, jeez, let me just allow myself to stay on the positive side. That's all I can do. And it's sad. It's just like I hate watching the news. I hate reading the newspaper. People are like, well, you ain't gonna know what's going on in the world. A lot of times with my energy, I can't take all that stuff that's going on in the world right now. It's nothing. If there's something I can change, I'm gonna get up on it. But other than that, I'll stay focused, but I got to keep my distance at the same time, because stuff like that can really consume you, especially with you being an empath. Some people can deal with that, but we feel differently. Our vibrations are extra. We feel when the world's going through change for the negative or for the better. So it's always like, sometimes we feel like we don't have a choice on things. In certain situation, I will agree with that. Sometimes we feel like we don't, and we don't. But then there's a lot of times we do have our choice to how we choose to go about things. And it is, it just seems like people need a reason to do certain things, just like they need to see the reason for them to retaliate on towards a lot of different things that's going on in the world. And it's sad that somebody's life had to be taken in that way, you know but it's just like all these changes are manifesting for a reason. All these different things is going on. And the way, I keep getting visions of George Floyd. It's like, I don't want to say martyr type situation, but it's just like, like for the last few years when these people have been, taken by, situations like this when it comes to the law. There's some kind of goodness that came out of that tragedy at times, and it's scary. It's like when you see things where people are constantly videotaping, violence, and it's just like, I don't know why, but I feel like this person it's like 1044 type situation where they're using these people as an example. And it just makes me think about the boy that was killed in New York. What was it, like 2 years ago, when he was pulled out the bodega? um and it was really sad. And he wanted to be a police officer, and nobody helped this boy. I felt deep for the family, that had to go and see that, and especially when it's on tape and you just seeing these people not like helping at anything. The boy begged for help. Then on top of that, they got the wrong person. So it was just like there's so much hell raising in the world, and there's a lot of people that have these soul contracts where it's like you done made your mark in the world. Now it's time for you to go to another place because you have a bigger part of the world you're about to play in, that spiritual, the spiritual job they got to do over on the other side. And it's just really sad it has to be that way. But, we can't question the universe and how they do different things in the world. But, you're allowing yourself to make the choice within your life that you have that power to change. And, you need to go for that. So I hope that you were able to resonate with the content of this video. Let me go ahead and give some more post notification shout outs. Um, Tyler Wade, Vinny Long, much love to you, Chanel, Renee Hernandez, and Rosie Riveter, and Cuss Main, much love to you as well. Thank y'all for subscribing. It's truly appreciating. Our family is really growing rapidly, and I'm so blessed and appreciating that. And I'm just glad that I can be able to share my visions as well as future experiences as well as current ones that so many others can relate to as well. And then just knowing that other people have that comfort to know that they're not alone. We're all going through it. We're just dealing with different circumstances, but pretty much the same change. So, like and subscribe, drop your line. I would love to give you a post notification shout out, share, tell somebody about the channel. They might find it interesting. Hit the notification bell so you know when I'm about to upload my video, if they let you know, because I know it's just like y'all don't get like the notifications if I'm not connected with you on Facebook Messenger. You don't get it right away since all this other stuff is going on. But you know if you need to get in touch with me privately, you can always find me on Facebook Messenger. You don't have to have the Facebook page to have Facebook Messenger. A lot of people just go ahead and download the app to connect with me faster. You can talk with me there. Everything is confidential. And if I can't answer, your spiritual path of questions, or what, on a deeper level of knowledge for your spiritual path, I always try to give as much information I possibly can to send you in the direction that where you needed that at. So, share, give a thumbs up, hit notification bell, connect with me is truly, truly appreciated. Know that you are truly blessed, highly favored, and forever loved, and knowing there's always somebody out there praying for your better days. And I pray that everything that you're trying to manifest into your life comes 100,000 times more than what you asked for, and it comes so much sooner than you expected it to. Even through social distancing, make sure you give out love, light, positivity, as well as prosperity words, vibes, frequencies. You never know, all those things can really take somebody a long way. And what else was I gonna say? Oh, just have a blessed day. I know there's a lot of stuff that's going on in the world that is, really hard to deal with right now. But just keep working on yourself. Our vibration of change. I'd rather for that virus to be going around than all the other deadly ones that is going on right now. So much love to you. Stay blessed. Peace. Be wild.